Okay. I just realized we're probably going to have like that brief little dip pretty soon, but okay. Up next, we have the one and only Wolfers. Been fairly regular over here on the channel. Definitely like more in the beginner side of things and all that. And we're going to have a Greninja match, which I know I've been able to do a few of those on here. And then we're also going to have a Pokemon trainer match. So let's definitely go in and let's see what we can find. Stalled you out? Okay. Yeah, Greninja definitely has like the mobility to avoid your projectiles if he really wants to. But there's not really any realistic way for him to do it. Yeah, so I was about to say, that right there is a very common thing that happens. So when you have the opponent trapped in the corner and you throw a can to like go underneath the platform, they'll generally jump and land on that platform, so it's a very easy thing to just like call them out on. So sorry guys that are watching this VOD, the regularly scheduled disconnect just happened. So it should be back in a second. It's just, I don't know why every single 2 hours this thing just wants to go off. But a good thing is it takes like about like 15 seconds for it to happen. So yeah, that's always going to be a thing that you're going to find happening, is just, you know, keep your opponents in the corner. And then just cover their escape when they go for the platforms and all that. Okay, well, welcome back. So let's continue. So this is very good. So that Greninja player is just controlling the ground with the water shuriken. So you pretty much can let your projectiles do all the work and just like camp out on the platforms just to wait for them to come in. You could have gotten a lot more off of that, but you know, just this execution. You have to remember that his water shuriken is going to go through your clay pigeon, so that's a terrible move to do in these situations. Just focus on moving your can, closing the distance, and jumping over it. Don't ever clay pigeon the water shurikens when he's doing the full charge one at the very least. The can set up. Yeah, that's the reason why you don't go for F smash, is because like that's a hard read. So if you see them roll, then you can F smash. But if they don't roll, don't do it. You have to kind of realize, like, all of this happened because you decided to go for F smash, and you missed that because you decided to go for F smash. Like, that's the reason why you don't go for these hard reads unless you have a very good reason to go for them. Again, you know, if you're following underneath your opponent, you're going to be able to, like, cover them on the platforms a lot easier, too. So stay closer to them when you're below them, because it's just, like, a lot better to do. Also, yeah, remember, you can get closer. Like, you can start to move up, and then, like, if by you being, like, where that, like, red, where, like, the red part of the Pokeball is, and they're in the corner, it's going to be very easy to just, like, punish wherever they go. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Now, I'm kind of surprised it started up with ads. I wouldn't expect that to happen when it restarts. But, yeah. Okay, yeah, if you want to go a little bit closer. Yeah, remember, you have to remember to go for a soft toss or hard toss when you're doing the lid drop. Yeah, don't run away. When you have your opponent and they need to recover, you need to cover the ledge. Like, that should always be your #1 priority. Just cover them trying to recover. See, like, okay, that dash back was good, but, like, you're not really at the point where you're going to be used to doing this, but, like, getting used to doing pivot grab will be really good, so that way you can catch them running at you. Thank God that hits them. I wasn't sure if that would. Good catch. Yeah, so always remember, like, Greninja could cover your jumps really easily. Oh, look at that. There we go. So yeah, remember, you can move up as he's remember, as Greninja is charging, he cannot move, and you're free to move however you want. When he's that far away, you can move and respond to him throwing out the Water Shuriken. There's no way that you move forward and you automatically get punished. Like, you have more than enough time to just jump over it. So don't get used to that. Because you jump? Yeah, so basically when he killed you that time is because he called you out jumping. So when you did that double jump to like recover and you thought you were safe, no, Greninja can like double jump really high and just fair. Like, he wasn't reacting to you double jumping. Like, that was just like, because of how quickly he did it, he just thought you were going to do it. Yeah, so this is the reason why that approach was pretty bad. So with that, you were just like kind of running raw at him, so you might as well have been just like running straight at him too. So if you had the can covering you from below, then that way you would have been covering him going forward and him trying to come up and like get you on the platform. And then you don't run into him, you just stay like where that platform area is, and you just wait for him to come to you, and then you punish him for that. By approaching him like that, it makes it really easy for him to just get a punish just like this on you. Remember, like, Clay Pigeon, like, in a lot of these situations, Clay Pigeon's not going to do anything. Like, the only thing that Clay Pigeon does is just make you do nothing. That's what you have to remember. Like, your Clay Pigeon really needs to have a specific intent when you're using it to, like, actually punish or to, like, trap him and shield. Because, like, all of those, like, he's way too far away to get hit to it. Like, you would have to, like, hope for him to be unbelievably stupid to just go running into it in order for that Clay Pigeon to be effective in any capacity at all. Like, you only throw that move out after he's committed to an attack that you know that you can hit him with, or like an air dodge, just anything like that. Just stop throwing it out of neutral like this, because I guarantee you it is going to cost you your games and your sets every single time with the being used like this, and it is not going to win you anything. Just focus on moving you and the can. In this matchup, it's a little bit harder to get the gunmans out just because, like, Water Chicken will go through it and they'll go down a lot. But, like, can and dog, like, that's more than enough that you need. See, again, like, you're just getting auto-punish for it. Like, Clay Pigeon is way too slow to stuff out the Water Shuriken. And then I'm assuming that F Smash was just more of like a misinput for F Tilt. But yeah, you know, again, don't want to be throwing out those smash attacks in those situations. See, like, that was a pretty good coverage there. So he was close enough to hit the can there. But, like, you were covering multiple things. So it's like, okay, if he jumps, up air there. But, like, of course, he had his double jump. And, like, you know, you were ready to cover that with can. It's just that, unfortunately, it didn't really work out for you there. So it's like he just knew enough to stay away, but if he didn't know the matchup at all, he would have ran into that. But yeah, that's the reason why you don't go for Hail Marys. They generally don't work, and it's literally a Hail Mary. It's like a 5% chance that's going to work. Just like, remember, 5% of the time they're probably going to lose. 95% of the time, I'm just going to get bodied for doing this. So just don't do that. Okay, gotcha. But I mean, remember, like, pinging can is just holding it like this. But if you were trying to like move forward and ping the can, I can understand that like sometimes like Wi-Fi can mess that up. But in a lot of situations, just like run forward and jump and then ping the can. So then that way it's like you don't have to worry about doing the alternating motion. It's like your momentum from jumping will carry you forward. Ooh, yeah. Now you gotta be ready. You gotta be wary of your cans. Also that too. Because like, I think he had enough time to air dodge that water shuriken. Also, like, notice something that you did is that entire sequence, you decided not to try and not set up a can at all. And, like, because of that, like, it's basically impossible for Duck Hunt to catch him that way. And in situations like this, you need to reset your can. Like, when you were chasing him over here, like, in the center of the stage, you should have just, like, tapped the can twice, and then it would have fallen off stage, and then you'd be able to use it right here. But because you decided not to do this, like, you're just in a much weaker position. But, you know, luckily he ran into your Hail Mary. Yeah, because he's a fast faller. Clay Pigeon to fair is not going to work at low percents. You got to do dash attack or grab. But yeah, you have to keep in mind, like, you can actually do Clay Pigeon to F smash on Greninja. Ooh, no, that was a huge miss. I'm not sure why you rolled there. Like, when he's in shield and he's on a platform above you, just, like, poke him with up airs. There's nothing he can really do to punish you. And if you land an up air at this percent, you should get, like, a second one. Yeah, I was about to say, remember, like, your can is would be able to cover that platform, so if you pinged it preemptively, you actually would have prevented him from being able to land on that platform. Yeah, don't throw away your jumps like that. That's too bad. You actually could have lived that one. But that's hard to tech on Wi-Fi. Yeah, so one thing to remember about Greninja is besides his back air, his attacks are very slow, and up air. His up air is pretty quick. So, like, if he's trying to hit you with, like, Nair or Fair, it's going to take a long time for that to come out. Not to mention, you can actually beat out his down air with up air as well. Like, it's not disjointed at all. Show this off real quick. My neck's hurting. Yeah, see, like, neutral air comes out frame 12. That's very slow. Forward air, frame 16. That's very slow. Down air is frame 17. And if you look at his hurt box, like, you can't actually hit that. Because, like, our up air hit 2 and 3 will outrange this move. This is actually kind of interesting. It gets bigger as time goes on. That's not really too common. So yeah, don't be afraid to anti-air him. Okay, so yeah, so like with Greninja, because he's so fast, like you need to trap him between Duck Hunt and Can. So, like, Can's going to cut off one option, and then Duck Hunt's going to cover off the other options, and, like, that makes it much easier to hit him. So, like, that's what you need to focus on. Because, like, if you chase Greninja by yourself as Duck Hunt, like, legitimately, there's no way Duck Hunt's ever catching him. The reason why you catch him is because you trap him. So, you got to think about it like that. You got to think about it like you're a pest controller, like, just taking out the pests. Think about it that way. It's like, you know, you got to lure them, you got to bait them, and then you punish them for it. And, you know, it's not like you're necessarily being aggressive when you're, like, baiting things out. Like, you're waiting them to fall in an area where it's like the attack is just going to get them. That's what you're focusing on doing. And you said Pokemon trainer, so let's make sure. Yeah, so that's the ID you sent me. Perfect. All right. So this matchup's very different because it's 3 matchups in one. Squirtle, he kind of gets bodied. Basically, no range, and can't really kill. So it's like you can hit him. You can just like kind of outrange him very easily. His mobility is pretty similar to ours too, so you can kind of keep up with his pace and all that. Just like he has good low percent combos, but after that, not too scary. However, I think on this stage he might be able to 0 to death us. Ivysaur, honestly, like he's mostly gonna be trying to like camp you out like Razor Leaf, and like Clay Pigeons will go through that after that move steals once. So like that's very easy to like, just kind of counter with that. Just like overall, he kind of loses that camping war because you've got that and you have Can as well. And then Charizard, he's a heavy. You just treat him like any other heavy. He's not any different. So he has a hard time, but of course he will blow you up at 60% if you're not careful. Oh, God, yeah. You could actually have up air to him there, but I guess you weren't ready for it. And actually, if you up air Squirtle on this stage, you could probably 0 to death him very easily. Not sure what that F smash was. But yeah, like you had a free combo off that Gunman. And also that right there, you gave up the entirety of center stage. So you basically allowed him to reset and just like get back for free. What you want to do is like you want to focus on keeping him there in the corner. So just stay in the center area and do your setups from there. Unfair. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, watch my Battlefield video again, so like that way you kind of understand how to play the advantage a little bit more. Ooh. Okay, that would have worked. You at least had the read. It's just it doesn't work against that move. So that was a very special case. You know, generally, I wouldn't advise the F smash, like kind of there. That F smash was really bad, just specifically because like he had to air dodge on that platform. So you basically had a guarantee that no matter what, he had to go for an attack on there. Like legitimately from where he was, he would have had to fast fall through the platform and then air dodge for that to even work. Like the possibilities of that S smash landing were like basically 0. So that's something you just have to keep in mind positioning wise. Good thing that move's big. So when he air dodges like that, you actually have enough time to like run up and up smash him. Yeah. You have to keep in mind, like, he's basically just going to be looking for those now. Yeah, remember, make sure you're just, like, proficient with, like, your Throaticans. Because especially on this stage, that should have killed. But there might have been a way where he had really good DI and he would have lived it. So I don't think your can is that stale. Good attack. So the other thing, too, that you're not doing, like, that entire time, you could have dropped through the platform and you would have been perfectly okay. But, like, you decided to purposely just keep yourself in, like, that one little area. And, like, there's not really anything that you had to, like, recover from that situation. Again, I don't know. That S-Smash, I'm not sure what you're trying to go for there. Unless that was just, like, a misinput. But even if you did, like, drop off there, that really wouldn't have done anything for you. Yeah, so that up air you went way too early because like he could have reversed that super easily. You have to wait for them to come into view before you go for it. You got really lucky with that. So even at that percentage, like you can F throw fair. So like that's something you should just always go for. Also remember, you don't have to ping the can to get a shield can. Just like with a character like Squirtle, if he ever hits your can on shield, he's gonna blow up and take damage. Oh, gotta be so careful with that air dodge. Like with the air dodge back, he could have just charged a smash attack there and then just punished you. But at least lucky for you, he already committed to another option. Yeah, this is definitely just like a misinput. I think it happens on this game too. If you hold the rapid jab enough, you can do the finisher. It pushes you off the stage, and then you can jump and hit him again. Oh, yeah, you're a little bit too early there. So in a situation like this, where like Ivysaur has to like up B from very low, what you want to do is you want to just drop off, and then you want to do Nair. Because by doing that, because like by doing that, you'll tap him with Nair, and then he's not gonna have his jump, and he's gonna die. Yeah. Like down air would probably kill too, but like the thing with down air is like because the active frames, it's only active for like 1 frame each hit. There's just a lot more consistent, and just touching him would have killed him. Oh, that worked out really nicely. Ooh, that worked out really good too. So it's like, that'll be a more matchup specific thing. If you can find like ways that you can knock him out of side B that puts him in that end lag situation, like with like, I think Gunman did it right there, then that could be a really easy smash attack setup there. So like, that just worked out really nicely. When he's below you, he doesn't have anywhere to swing. So like when he's coming from far away, like horizontally, you're more likely to miss. But like if he's below, he can only go up. So like that's the easiest one to get out of all of them. Like that one, you can be very confident in getting. Yeah, Fly's very good. Yeah, you have to keep in mind, when you're fighting Squirtle, he wants to just come up above you with up airs, and that's how he wants to do his combos. So when you're on the platforms, that's the only thing you really need to look out for. He's never going to come in front of you. He'll come in front of you on the ground, but not above. Yeah, then this is a very hard character to clay pitch in, so this is one time I would say, like, yeah, definitely don't use it against Squirtle. Toss off stage. Oof. Remember, if he misses his down tilt, you can just drop down and then jump up air him. And then you would have been able to combo him to the can from there. Yeah, so Ivysaur is able to like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. So like that's something I was talking about. Like just like ingrained into your system, if you see your opponent roll from ledge, just kill them. Very, very easy habit to build into yourself when they're at death percents. But yeah, overall, like you kind of had like a bunch of misinputs there, so I feel like that was kind of mostly your undoing at the end there. But yeah, so when you're playing on a platform stage, Squirtle wants to come below you, so if you just like hold shield over can, he'll probably blow himself up until like he learns better. Ivysaur, when you're recovering against him, you want to first like get can thrown at him, and then you just like find your way to recover safely around that. And don't burn your double jump, because like he can jump up and then like do up B to like hit you and kill you really early, especially the higher up you are. And then from below, he does have down air. So for that, you specifically want to send up the can, so that way it's harder for him to get the down air out. So like those are kind of those are like the main things that you do against that. So like don't get jumpy, just be calm, and then like just throw those things out. Make sure you're holding center stage against like all those characters. It's just like a good habit to have in general. So then that way you can just keep pushing them on the ledge. And also, I'm happy that you're focusing a lot on your ledge trapping. Like I think like out of everyone I've looked at so far besides Sparky, like you're like the only one that was like really making sure to have like the cans out there to cover things. You need to do that. You definitely need to do that. I did feel like there was like a couple of things with execution that were kind of off on there. Like you would sometimes like go for like misplaced smash attacks there. And like I think there's like a clay pigeon out occasionally, but like you were like at least the most consistent with what to do on those ledge trap scenarios. It's just like sometimes you'd give them a little bit too much space to breathe. But yeah, you didn't really get to fight Charizard too much. He just kind of like found those weak spots and just like killed you for that. So I can't really comment too much on your gameplay specifically against that. I'd have to like watch you fight a different heavy to really say more about it. And then Ivysaur, you weren't playing too well around his Razor Leaf. Like again, you just need to like jump Can, and then if he has staled like the Razor Leaf against like Gunman and Can already, then you can throw a Clay Pigeon through it and automatically punish him for it. So that's fairly easy to set up. And then against Squirtle, yeah, like the main thing is just like he's going to be approaching you because he doesn't have a projectile. So he has to come to you no matter what. And you just need to focus on outspacing him and trapping him with your projectiles, which I think you did a pretty decent job with doing for the most part. It's just that there's a lot more moments like where he was kind of like vulnerable that you could take advantage of. But like other than that, I think you played it. It was mostly like the way that you played against Ivysaur and the way that you held yourself defensively against Squirtle that like really came to your undoing. Yeah, I mean, that's mostly Duck Hunt. The ledge trapping is like the most important aspect about him. And like the keep away is important too. But like the thing that your keep away lacks is like effectiveness. So it's like you keep away, but you don't understand how to like limit your opponent's options. Like you're just staying away to staying away. You're not creating any extra pressure and you're not creating any extra worries for them. And that's what you need to learn to do. You need to learn how to manipulate your Can in a way where it's like your opponent is forced to do something and then you can capitalize on their actions. Like, if you haven't watched like Core Gaming at all, watch the Hadouken video. And that basically explains like the entire philosophy you need to play with Can. Like, for example, if you throw like a Hadouken at a distance where they can jump over it and you can do a Shoryuken to hit them, that's kind of what you want to do with Can. It's like you force them into an option where if they avoid something, then they're going to get hit by something else. And then if they get hit by it, then they get hit by it. So that's a mentality you need to take with Can in terms of just like moving it across the stage and assisting your keep away game. You keep away to set up Can, and then like if they can't like truly force you to approach, then you force them to approach that way. And if you're forced to approach them, you use that Can to like limit their options and take advantage of it. So if you haven't watched all of Core Gaming, watch all of his analysis videos. But like if you need to watch one specifically, the Hadouken one's the one you need to watch. Yeah. I'm just going to post it real quick in the critique cabin. So then that way, or actually I'll tag you in something. I'll put it there. Like this is like for Duck Hunt players, this is like the most important video to watch. Okay, it's there. All right, so is there any other question that you had? Going once, going twice. Not really. Okay. All right, so we'll close it off.